After Joe Biden's disastrous performance at the debate, his betting odds, according to Polymarket, are just 18%, while Donald Trump is at 66%. In the two-way aggregate, according to Real Clear Polling, he is up by 2.7%. And so in this video, I'm going to be giving you my post-debate 2024 presidential election prediction if the election were held today. Now, as you know, I have my election model, and right now I'm predicting the popular vote is going to be R plus 0.44%. Now, the reason why it's down from the polling average is because of the incumbency outperformance. And when you plug this incumbency outperformance, it really helps get a more realistic scenario in the 2024 election. So on average, I'm predicting that every state will shift about 4 or 5 points to the right from 2020. Of course, I do not base my predictions solely on my model, but also on data and state-by-state trends. So now we're going to fill out this map based on my post-debate predictions. We're going to start with Joe Biden. I'm going to start with his safe states: Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, Vermont, Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, the District of Columbia, and New York. These are going to be the states that I'm predicting that Biden will win by safe margin, putting his safe electoral votes at 147. Now we're going to go to Donald Trump's safe states: Alaska, Utah, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska at large along with Nebraska's 1st and 3rd congressional districts, Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Iowa, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, South Carolina, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, and West Virginia, putting Donald Trump's safe electoral votes at 178. Now we're going to go to the likely states for Joe Biden and Donald Trump. We're going to start with Joe Biden. Even under this scenario, Joe Biden will still win Colorado by a likely margin. Colorado has been a state fast trending to the left, and it probably will continue like that in the near future. So that's why I have this as a likely state for Joe Biden. Another likely characterization that I have is Maine's 1st congressional district. This was a district that Joe Biden won by 14 points in 2020, but with this shift, it would become a likely margin for Joe Biden. And another state that I have as a likely margin is Illinois. Illinois voted for Biden by 17 points, but because of Biden's disastrous performance and his bleeding among black voters, this would be bumped down to a likely margin. And then our last state as a likely margin would be New Jersey. New Jersey is also a deep blue state, voting for Biden by 17 points in 2020. But with New Jersey, they actually almost elected a Republican governor from the state. It's been a state that has been trending to the right in recent elections, and that's why it is a likely margin. So that's it for the likely states for the Democrats. Now we're going to go to the likely states for the Republicans. Texas would be a likely state. Now the reason why I don't have this as a safe state is because Texas has been a very left-trending state. It voted for Trump by only 5.6% in 2020, and because of its left trend in recent elections, I do see probably like a 9 or 10 point win, but still it would only be a likely margin. Another characterization that I have as a likely margin would be Maine's 2nd district. This district voted for Trump by 6 points in 2020, and with that 4-point shift, it would be bumped up to about a 10 or 11 point win for Trump, thus making this a likely district for Trump. And then we have one more state that I'm going to actually have as a likely margin. That's North Carolina. Now, you might be very surprised that this is a likely margin for Trump. As of right now, I actually have Trump winning this by 3 points. But after that disastrous debate, I do see North Carolina definitely shifting about 2 or 3 points to the right, barely putting it over that 6-point margin that is necessary for a likely margin, but still, it would be a likely state for Trump. Now we're going to go to the lean states for Joe Biden and Donald Trump. The first lean state that we have is New Mexico. Now, New Mexico is a Hispanic majority state, but because of Hispanics' shift to the right in recent elections, this would definitely shift right relative to the nation, making it a likely margin. New Mexico actually voted for Biden by 11 points, but it would be a lean margin for Biden this time around. And then another state that I have as a lean margin is Virginia. Now, I've seen a lot of predictions that has Trump winning Virginia. I just think they're not really realistic. Because if you look at the 2023 legislative elections in the state, Democrats outperformed expectations. And the idea of Virginia flipping, I would just think, is very wishful thinking on the Republican side. Now, will it become close? Yes, I do think it will become close, but I do not see it flipping just because of how Democratic this state has become, especially the Nova area in Virginia. It's very, very Democratic, and that's why I have this as a lean margin for Democrats. The last state that I have as a lean margin is New Hampshire. New Hampshire is a state that's very anti-incumbent, and that's why it would shift right relative to the nation, but still, it's still going to be a lean margin. That finishes off our lean states for the Democrats. Now we're going to go to the lean states for the Republicans. Now, I have 3 characterizations that I'm going to have as lean margins. It would be Georgia, Wisconsin, and Nevada. Wisconsin and Georgia were 2 of the 3 most competitive states in the 2020 election. And Nevada has been a state that has been shifting right relative to the nation for a couple years now. Now, the reason why I have these as lean margins and not tilt margins are because of different reasons in each state. For Georgia, I have it because of the Atlanta metro area and the black population turning to Trump. For Nevada, I have it because it's a right trending state and actually has a Republican governor. Joe Lombardo actually unseated Steve Sisolak in the 2022 election. And Wisconsin, because Ron Johnson, the incumbent Republican senator in 2022, kept his seat even though different candidates lost. And it's just showing that Wisconsin is open to Republicans. And with this national environment and this 4-point shift, Wisconsin has been shifting right relative to the nation. And that's why I have Wisconsin as a lean margin and not a tilt margin for Trump. And then I have Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Arizona as all tilt states for Trump. Now, the reason why I have Arizona as a tilt state and not a lean state for Trump is because Arizona has been a left trending state. Same with Michigan and Pennsylvania. These states are all left trending states, and even though it's going to be a very good national environment for Trump, I do still see these states being only tilt margins. And also Nebraska's 1st district I have as a tilt margin for Trump. Now, I forgot to put Maine at large, but Maine at large is actually going to be a lean margin for Joe Biden. It voted for Biden by 9 points, and with a 4-point shift and probably a right relative to the nation, I do see this as a lean state for Biden. And then the last state, Minnesota. Now, Minnesota voted for Biden by 7 points in 2020. I don't see the state going to Trump. Even though it's going to be a very good national environment, I see it at about a 2-point win for Biden, considering my election model, which all states really shift about 5 points to the right. If we did 7 minus 5, that would be about 2 points for Biden. Nevertheless, that would be a tilt margin for Biden. So there you have it. This is my updated prediction, my post-debate prediction. Donald Trump would win 313 electoral votes to Joe Biden's 225. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash the like button down below and subscribe. Comment your thoughts or suggestions in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.